No, listen. Tekken 8 is not a real Tekken game. Is a really stupid statement in my opinion. I was gonna make this video. What I was gonna do is I was gonna go and play every Tekken game and talk about the differences with each one and stuff like that, and why being different, something different in every game doesn't mean anything. Like how when he is the biggest difference. But then I thought that it's not even worth it making such a long video. But if you guys want me to, I can go more in depth. But here's what I'm gonna say for this video. Typically, when I see people say that, it's usually just coping because the game isn't exactly how they want it to be. For example, I see the most of the people who I see say that um, aren't very good at the game, or they're very low rank, and they're like these are the same people who the game is apparently catered towards, but there's even then they're still not on that level. And I'm not saying it's bad to be not at the top level or whatever, but I will say that it is a little bad when you're speaking about how this isn't real Tekken, even though this is your first and only Tekken, really. Um, and I'm not gonna even mention the guy's name. I'm just bringing up because I saw a video of this guy saying Tekken 8 is not real Tekken, and it's quite literally his only Tekken game. He says that he played Tekken 7 for the first time very recently, so it's like it's hard to take his opinion very serious. Um, Especially considering the guy says he doesn't like frames, like trying to having to learn like labbing and frames and stuff like that, when that's like the whole point of getting better at the game. But regardless, I think that that statement in general is stupid because in Tekken 8 you still need fundamentals. You still like, for example, you still need to be able to play defensive. People say that this game isn't defensive at all, and while yes, it is more catered towards offense, you still need defense. If you don't have defense, you will never ever win a game. I think the reason people say that this game isn't defensive is because yes, there's a lot of 50-50s, but your backdash is not as strong. But the thing is, I think people forget that yes, while your backdash is worse in this game, your sidestep is better. The difference between Tekken 7 and Tekken 8 is the way you have to approach things. Is you usually have to sidestep in Tekken 8, as opposed to Tekken 7, where you usually have to backdash because sidestep was trash in that game and backdash is trash in this game. And of course, there's gonna be people who are like, well, Tekken 7 isn't real Tekken either. Um, but it's not even worth talking to bringing up these points to people like that because their only true vision for a real Tekken game is Tekken 5, the pinnacle of balancing and real Tekken artistry. I mean, the 8 frame jab and the plus on block down forward ones with the infinites. I mean, or maybe you don't have the infinites if you count Tekken 5 DR, but you do have characters that move in slow motion with Dragonov, and characters with busted grabs, and characters with every single tool like Devil Jin. And it's okay because the game is 20 years old, so we see the game for only the good parts. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Tekken 5 is bad, not at all. And honestly, here before I even continue talking about anything like that, let me just say this: it's okay to not like Tekken 8. Don't get me wrong. Um, I think that disliking Tekken 8 is definitely fair. You have your reasons, but people don't like it when you like the game, which is what I think is completely idiotic. Um, Seriously, the elitists of the community just will not let you enjoy this game, and I was never an elitist of the community. Like, you can't like this game, but I will say I didn't really like season 2. But I actually came back a couple weeks ago and started playing, making my own opinion for myself, not listening to the people on YouTube, and especially not Twitter and Reddit, because fuck Twitter and Reddit. Um, and what I saw is that honestly, when you don't have people complaining about how this is not real Tekken and how their character is real Tekken because they play Mishima, um, it honestly makes the game a lot more enjoyable. Now, I don't like again. I don't think that this game is perfect, but I definitely don't think that this game is as bad as people are trying to make it seem, or as different as people make it want to seem, or to the point where it's a whole different franchise. Let's not forget that, for example, Tekken 4, while people didn't like that game, they still consider it Tekken. And that game is the most different game out of any Tekken game ever. Tekken 8 is closer to Tekken 7 than Tekken 4 is to anything else. Um, Seriously, it's that, like, different. Um, And I honestly like the game. I think that it definitely failed in some aspects, but I still consider it a Tekken game. I think the only Tekken game you can consider not a Tekken game is something like Street Fighter X Tekken, because that's more of a Street Fighter game, right? I think that I don't know if I already mentioned him, but I believe that this is mainly brought on by Nova Saikin and his videos. And I'm not here to say Nova Saikin sucks. His videos suck. I'm just saying that I don't fully agree, and I think some of his the things he talks about is a bit misinformed, or maybe not misinformed. Let me not say that, but definitely some of it I feel is a bit cherry picked. Especially his video on Power Crushes, because Power Crushes were better in Tekken 7, I'd say, than they are in Tekken 8 by a mile. Mainly because you didn't have legit counterplay to most of them. Some of them, like he shows some clips of how you could like hit them and then do something and then hit them again after, like hit them and then go back. But you still have that with some specific Power Crushes. It depends. Sure, they changed some, but they still kept some other ones. So it's and they also added some, like for example with Eddie I see. Um, but yeah, I think that part of it is that, and I believe that um, Power Crushes were better in Tekken 7 as well, because you can just grab them after almost every option. As long as it's minus 12 or something like that, I believe, minus 11, you can always just grab out of it guaranteed. Um, and actually, Power Crushes now don't have that high minus 9 heat engager shit from Season 1 anymore. So I think that Power Crushes are even worse than they were. In Tekken 7, you had launchers that were safe on block. Some were plus on block. Like Negan's is safe. Horang's is plus. In this game, you only get a guaranteed follow up, right? But anyways, to not keep going on, I think that some of it is definitely misinformed, or just pure just hating from the community. But if you like the game, that's great for you. If you don't like it, well, that's fine. It's understandable. And I just dropped something. Sorry if you hear that in the background. It's understandable, and regardless, I just hope that one day we can have a not so shit community where we can actually talk about something without just completely dismissing it as not real Tekken because it's different. But thank you for watching. If you want, go check out my second channel. Put in the comments below. Um, and have a good rest of your day or night or whatever. And let me know what you guys think. Bye bye.